Have you ever felt like there's someone else inside you? Or maybe you've experienced that strange sensation of déjà vu, feeling like you've been here before. Said these words, live this moment. Some call it a glitch in the matrix, others say it's a memory from a past life. But what if it's something else entirely? What if these are messages from another version of you? We like to think of ourselves as singular beings, moving through life along a fixed path. But what if you exist in countless parallel versions, each one shaped by different choices and possibilities? Mysticism tells us you are a multidimensional being capable of perceiving multiple realities at once. Science suggests quantum mechanics allows for the possibility of parallel universes. Ancient wisdom whispers, know thyself, and you will know the universe. Today, we open the door to this hidden world. We'll explore dreams, synchronicities, quantum paradoxes, and esoteric teachings that reveal one simple truth: you are not alone. Are you ready to meet yourself? If this resonates with you, subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below. I'm ready to hear my parallel self. Chapter 1. When you sleep, you meet yourself. What if sleep is not just rest, but travel? Robert Monroe, a pioneer of out-of-body experiences, didn't believe in such things until he began to spontaneously leave his body during sleep. What started as a frightening anomaly became a lifelong journey into unseen dimensions. Through years of exploration, Monroe discovered something astonishing. In the dreamlike planes beyond the physical world, he often encountered versions of himself, similar yet distinct. He called them other Roberts. They lived different lives, made different choices, carried different energies, but all of them were him. Sleep, it turned out, was not the end of awareness, but a gateway to it. Monroe's experiences suggest that consciousness is not fixed in one body or timeline. It can drift, divide, explore. And when we sleep, the tether to the physical loosens, allowing us to touch those hidden parts of our being that we suppress in waking life. The phenomenon of lucid dreaming, where one becomes aware inside the dream, is often the first step. From there, some people experience astral projection, a state where the consciousness perceives itself as separate from the physical body. These experiences aren't simply fantasies or hallucinations. Many who explore them describe consistent, structured environments, repeated encounters, and a growing clarity over time. They speak of learning, not dreaming. And in these realms, one recurring theme appears: the self is not singular. So when you sleep tonight, consider this. The dreams you walk through might be more real than you think, and the person walking beside you might be another version of you, reaching across the veil. Chapter 2. The whisper behind the mirror. What if our normal waking state is not the pinnacle of clarity, but a filtered illusion? Aldous Huxley, in his groundbreaking work, The Doors of Perception, proposed that the brain is not a generator of consciousness, but a reducing valve. Its job isn't to reveal reality, it's to filter it, limit it, make it manageable. What we call ordinary perception is just a narrow band of what truly exists. Under the influence of mescaline, Huxley experienced a state where that filter was momentarily lifted. The world became radiant, infinite, and alive with meaning. A chair was no longer just a chair, it was a portal of sacred geometry. A flower became a cathedral. Space and time dissolved into a shimmering now. What if sleep, like mescaline, is another way that valve loosens? In the dream state, logic breaks down, space folds, identities blur. We are not bound to one point of view. We shift between perspectives, even between selves. It is in this loosened perception that the whisper behind the mirror becomes audible, the faint signal of the greater self. Science suggests that in sleep, especially in REM cycles, the default mode network of the brain, the hub of ego and identity, quiets down. This allows for non-linear, symbolic, and expanded modes of thought to arise. It's no wonder so many mystics, artists, and visionaries describe dreams as the birthplace of their deepest insights. What we call reality may be only the surface reflection. Behind it, through the mirror of sleep or altered perception, something vast is waiting. And it speaks, not in words, but in symbols, feelings, and deep intuitions. To listen, we must unlearn the language of control and open to the language of mystery. Chapter 3, The Signal Beyond Time. What if every choice you've ever made or not made created a new universe? The many worlds. Interpretation of quantum mechanics, proposed by physicist Hugh Everett in the 1950s, shattered the notion of a single, linear reality. Instead, it suggests that all possible outcomes of a quantum event actually occur, each in its own branching universe. Every decision, no matter how small, spawns a new version of you, living a different life in a parallel world. In this view, your parallel selves are not just imaginary. They're real, existing simultaneously across infinite dimensions of space-time. But how could we possibly connect with them? Some physicists have speculated that in altered states, like dreams, near-death experiences, or deep meditation, the boundaries between these worlds may become porous. In moments of intuition or déjà vu, you may be brushing up against an alternate version of yourself, sending or receiving information across the folds of the multiverse. What we experience as a sudden insight, an eerie familiarity, or a prophetic dream might actually be a signal traveling beyond time, crossing the invisible threads that link all your possible selves. And while science still can't measure such crossings, many ancient traditions speak of them in symbolic terms. The Akashic records, the Oversoul, the divine double. To receive the message, one must learn to listen not with the ears, but with the entire being, quieting the noise of thought and tuning into the frequency of the self across time. Somewhere, another you has already faced what you're facing, and they may be trying to send you a message. Chapter 4. The secret room in the soul deep within your psyche lies a hidden chamber, a place untouched by time, culture, or memory. It is neither dream nor reality, but something older than both. Jung called it the realm of archetypes, universal forms that shape your thoughts, desires, and destiny. This is where your parallel selves live as symbols, the hero, the outcast, the sage, the child. They are not just parts of your imagination. According to Jung, they are primordial patterns of being, shared across humanity and echoed in every myth, every fairy tale, every nightmare. When you dream of a stranger who feels strangely familiar, or when you act in a way that surprises even yourself, that is the self speaking through its many faces. The most powerful among these figures is the shadow, the version of you that holds everything you repress, fear, or reject. But the shadow is not your enemy. It is a guide, a gatekeeper. If you dare to enter the secret room and face the darkness inside, you may find your most authentic self waiting for you. Jung believed that healing, true transformation, comes not from ignoring these parts of yourself, but by integrating them. He called it individuation, a process of becoming whole. And in that wholeness, you discover something extraordinary. You're not just one self, but many, all orbiting the same inner core. When you make peace with the parts of you that you've locked away, you collapse the distance between the you that is and the you that could be. Your parallel self isn't far away. It's been knocking on the inside of your own soul. The question is, are you ready to open the door? Chapter 5. In Search of the Hidden Self. What do ancient texts reveal? Ancient teachings, such as Advaita Vedanta, offer the idea that our true self is not confined to this body, this mind, this life. In reality, it exists beyond time and space. This self is a formless, all-encompassing essence that exists in all possible realities. If your true self is beyond time, does this mean that you exist in all possible versions? Consider the concept of time as an illusion. What if your self is not only you here and now, but also you in another time, another place, in another state of consciousness. Ramana Maharshi taught that realizing that you are not just the body or the mind, but pure consciousness is the key to awakening. You are not confined to this reality. You are eternal, existing in multiple parallel realities simultaneously. How to stop identifying with one reality? Ancient teachings offer practices that help free you from identifying with just one version of yourself. One of the most powerful tools is meditation and self-inquiry, or anavritti, returning to the source, to yourself, through questions like, who am I? With each step inward into your consciousness, you begin to understand that everything you perceive as reality is merely one of many possible versions of you. Ramana Maharshi taught that all external identifications are mere shadows, and that you are not who you think you are. Your essence is not your life, your work, or your relationships. It is something far deeper, and the more you realize your true nature, the more you begin to see how this nature is reflected in other versions of you. In this chapter, just like in Ramana Maharshi's teachings, it's important to understand that not only are there alternative realities, there are alternative selves. Your true nature is something more than you can comprehend with logic or rational thought. It's not simply other realities, but realities where you already exist and where your spirit exists beyond time. The practice of realization. To realize this multidimensionality, it's important to practice deep self-reflection. Let it be as simple as sitting in silence, recognizing that beyond your mind there is something greater, that you are not just a human being, but infinite consciousness, penetrating through multiple realities. And as paradoxical as it may sound, realizing your multidimensionality, your parallel version, helps us return to what we truly are. The more we strive for this understanding, the more we release our attachment to just one life, one path. Chapter 6. You've already chosen. Now you just need to remember. What if your soul has already existed in all possible realities? What if, before you appeared in this world, you had already experienced all the paths that could have been? According to Max Tegmark's theory, which explains our universe as a mathematical structure, it's possible that all possible realities already exist and have already been lived by your essence. Perhaps you've already chosen your life, your path, but now you just need to remember how it all was. How realizing your multidimensional self can change your life. Once you begin to realize that you are not limited to one reality, your life changes. You stop perceiving yourself as just an ordinary human, bound by the constraints of time and space, and you start to understand that all of your decisions are just branches of one tree, growing in an infinite cosmos. Perhaps you've already seen yourself in other realities. Perhaps you've already lived other lives and faced other challenges. But here's the paradox. You don't remember it, and you're not supposed to, because every choice, every decision, every moment of your consciousness has already existed in another version of you. But now, here, in this reality, you are meant to realize that you were, are, and will be in many others. Chapter 7. Practices for realizing yourself beyond one reality. How can you use this realization in your life? How can you start remembering and experiencing your multidimensionality? A simple answer. In every situation, in every moment of awareness, ask yourself, what if I've already chosen this? This isn't a question about the future. It's a reminder that it has all already happened, and you just need to remember it in every moment. Meditation for realizing your parallel versions, practices of self-reflection, reading, and diving deep into philosophical teachings can help you penetrate this truth. You are not just a character in one story. You are a character in many stories, in all possible versions of yourself, already created. Every choice, every experience leaves traces in your soul, and when you start to see these traces, you understand that you've always been and always will be part of this eternal process. You've already chosen your reality. Now your task is to remember who you were, who you are, and who you will be.